You've heard whispers of Horcruxes, muttered in the darkest corners of the wizarding world. Imagine tearing your soul apart, piece by piece, and hiding those fragments in objects. That's a Horcrux. It's a one-way ticket to living forever, but at a terrible cost. Even at Hogwarts, Riddle was obsessed with cheating death. He loathed being ordinary, and immortality became his twisted pursuit. He manipulated anyone to achieve it, including poor Professor Slughorn, who unwittingly revealed the secrets of Horcruxes. Riddle, as always, got exactly what he wanted. Even as a student, Tom Riddle was already dabbling in the darkest magic. Long before he became the infamous Lord Voldemort, he was a boy with a chilling curiosity, prowling the ancient halls of Hogwarts with secrets swirling in his mind. While other students worried about exams and friendships, Tom was obsessed with power, how to get it, how to keep it, and how to make sure no one could ever take it from him. He saw himself as above everyone else, convinced that he was destined for greatness. What better way to prove it than to create a Horcrux while still at Hogwarts? For Tom, rules were mere obstacles, and morality was just a word for the weak. He believed he was special, chosen, and that the world owed him recognition. He chose his diary, a simple, unassuming book, as the vessel for his first Horcrux. Into its pages he poured a piece of his soul, forever tainting it with the darkness of murder. The victim? Moaning Myrtle, a fellow student whose only crime was being in the wrong place at the wrong time. With her death, Tom crossed a line from which there was no return. That ghost haunting the bathroom? That's Tom Riddle's doing, a permanent reminder of his cruelty and cunning. The bathroom became a place of whispers and fear, echoing with the tragedy he left behind. He unleashed the basilisk, a monstrous serpent hidden deep within the school's ancient pipes, all to fuel his ambition. The creature was his weapon, a living symbol of his desire to control and destroy. Tom reveled in the chaos, watching as fear spread through Hogwarts like wildfire. The diary became more than just a Horcrux. It was a weapon, a means to control and manipulate others from afar. Years later, it would find its way into the hands of Ginny Weasley, an innocent girl who never stood a chance against its insidious magic. Through the diary, Tom's teenage self whispered lies and commands, twisting her thoughts and actions to serve his will. He preyed on her innocence, using her as a pawn in his twisted game. Ginny's fear and confusion were nothing more than entertainment to him, a test of his power, a demonstration of how easily he could bend others to his will, even from beyond the grave. The diary, Horcrux, offers a chilling glimpse into the making of a monster. It's not just a magical object, it's a record of Tom Riddle's descent into darkness, a testament to his willingness to sacrifice anyone for his own gain. Every page is stained with the echoes of his cruelty and ambition. It shows the depths Riddle was willing to sink to, even as a teenager. He was already lost, already consumed by the idea that only power mattered. The loneliness and isolation he felt only hardened his resolve, turning him further away from the light. The diary and the Chamber of Secrets are forever intertwined, a testament to Riddle's arrogance and his belief that he alone could shape the future of Hogwarts. The chamber was his stage, the diary his script, and the students of Hogwarts his unwitting audience. He believed himself the heir of Slytherin, destined to rid Hogwarts of those he deemed unworthy. In his mind, he was a hero, purging the school of impurity, fulfilling a destiny written in blood and fear. But in truth, he was only ever a frightened boy, desperate to prove himself, willing to destroy anyone who stood in his way. But true power comes from empathy and compassion, not splitting your soul and hiding in shadows. The story of Tom Riddle's diary is a warning, a reminder that greatness built on cruelty is nothing but a hollow victory. In the end, it's kindness and connection that endure long after monsters have faded into legend. The Gaunts, Voldemort's ancestors, clung desperately to their Slytherin heritage, their pride and identity bound up in a single ancient ring. This ring was more than a family treasure. It was a relic of a once great lineage, a symbol of their connection to Salazar Slytherin himself. The Gaunts lived in poverty and isolation, but the ring was their last link to a powerful past, a reminder of what they had lost and what they still hoped to reclaim. This heirloom was more than jewelry. It was a symbol of their claim to power, a tangible piece of history that carried the weight of generations. To the Gaunts, the ring was proof that their bloodline was special, destined for greatness, even as their world crumbled around them. When Tom Riddle, later known as Lord Voldemort, discovered the ring, he saw not just a family artifact, but an opportunity. He transformed the ring into a Horcrux, using dark magic to anchor a fragment of his soul within it. In doing so, he twisted its legacy, turning a symbol of heritage into a vessel of evil. But Voldemort's ambition didn't end there. He cursed the ring, ensuring that anyone who dared to touch it would suffer a terrible fate. The curse was a cruel trap, a testament to his desire to protect his secrets at any cost, and a warning to those who might try to challenge him. Dumbledore, ever the seeker of truth, found the ring while investigating Voldemort's past. Driven by curiosity and a sense of duty, he tried to uncover its secrets, but the curse struck swiftly, ravaging his hand and leaving a mark that could not be healed. Dumbledore's suffering was a stark reminder of the dangers that come with seeking forbidden knowledge. The ring, once a cherished heirloom, became a symbol of Voldemort's cruelty and disregard for life. Its beauty was overshadowed by the darkness it now contained, and its legacy forever tainted by the evil it harbored. Even the most treasured possessions can be corrupted by darkness. What was once a source of pride and hope became an object of fear and suffering, a reminder that power can twist even the purest of legacies. The curse of the ring stands as a warning. Some legacies are better left undisturbed. The past can hold dangers that echo into the present, and not all family treasures are meant to be claimed. Voldemort's obsession with immortality and power twisted his heritage into a weapon. He took what was meant to honor his ancestors and used it to further his own dark ambitions, caring nothing for the pain he left in his wake. The ring's destruction was not just the breaking of an object, but a step toward reclaiming what was lost: hope, freedom, and the possibility of redemption. Destroying the Horcrux weakened Voldemort and brought the wizarding world one step closer to peace. In the end, the ring was reduced to fragments, just another piece of a shattered soul. Its power was broken, but the scars it left behind would not soon be forgotten. Power, when abused, always comes at a cost. The story of the ring is a reminder that the pursuit of greatness, when fueled by darkness, can only lead to ruin. Slytherin's locket, an ancient artifact, held a strange allure for Voldemort. He went to extraordinary lengths to acquire it, seeing it as a symbol of power and ambition. After stealing it, he performed the gruesome ritual, forcing a piece of his soul inside. The locket, once a symbol of cunning, became tainted by Voldemort's darkness. He hid it behind powerful enchantments and monstrous guardians, but even the most carefully hidden secrets are eventually revealed. Its destruction marked a turning point in the fight against Voldemort. The locket's story reminds us that true power lies in the choices we make, not the objects we possess. Hepzibah Smith's collection included Hufflepuff's cup, a treasure of kindness and legacy. Voldemort charmed his way into her life, then murdered her to steal the cup. He saw only its power, not its history, and turned it into another Horcrux. The cup, once filled with joy, became a vessel of despair. Hidden deep within Gringotts, it was guarded by enchantments and goblins, but even the most secure vaults couldn't contain its darkness. Its destruction, thanks to 3 brave young wizards, marked another step toward Voldemort's downfall. The cup's magic was finally freed from the clutches of evil. The diadem of Ravenclaw, symbol of wisdom, was coveted by Tom Riddle for its power. Using his knowledge of Hogwarts' secrets, he found and stole the diadem. Riddle was never content with mere possession. He transformed it into a Horcrux. The diadem, once a beacon of knowledge, became tainted by his touch. He hid it within Hogwarts, the very place that nurtured his intellect. Harry ultimately destroyed the diadem, freeing the school from its shadow. The diadem's tale warns us: intelligence without compassion can lead to ruin. Even brilliance can be twisted into darkness. Nagini, Voldemort's loyal companion, was more than a pet. She was a living Horcrux. Desperate for power, Voldemort bound a piece of his soul to her through a gruesome ritual. Nagini became an extension of his will, a creature twisted by dark magic. She was his eyes and ears, her venom fueling his spells, her fangs punishing his enemies. But Nagini was also a victim, robbed of her own will by Voldemort's cruelty. Her destruction was a mercy, releasing her from his grasp. Nagini's story is a tragic reminder of the cost of power. Even the innocent can be corrupted by evil. Even Dumbledore didn't see this one coming. Harry Potter unknowingly carried a piece of Voldemort's soul. The night his parents died, a fragment of Voldemort's essence latched onto Harry. This unintended Horcrux was a consequence of magic gone awry. Voldemort never realized he'd created another Horcrux, let alone within his greatest enemy. The unwanted bond haunted Harry, giving him access to Voldemort's thoughts, but also making him vulnerable. Yet it proved to be Voldemort's undoing. Harry's willingness to sacrifice himself destroyed the Horcrux within, severing their link. Sometimes, fate intervenes in the most unexpected ways. Each Horcrux tells a story of Voldemort's descent, his obsession with immortality. These dark artifacts are more than just objects. They are fragments of a soul torn apart by fear, ambition, and a relentless desire to escape death. Every Horcrux is a chapter in a tragic tale, echoing the choices that led a brilliant wizard down a path of darkness. The diary, the ring, the locket, the cup, the diadem, Nagini, and Harry all reflect his fractured soul. Each one represents a moment when Voldemort chose power over compassion and control over connection. These objects are not just vessels of dark magic, but mirrors of his deepest fears and regrets scattered across the world, waiting to be found. Some say he intended to create even more, pushing magic's limits. The very idea of splitting the soul so many times was unthinkable, a violation of nature itself. Yet Voldemort was never satisfied. His hunger for immortality drove him to experiment with the darkest spells, always searching for new ways to evade the inevitable. But his fear of death became his undoing. The more he tried to conquer mortality, the more he lost touch with what made him human. Paranoia and isolation haunted him, turning allies into enemies and hope into despair. Destroying each Horcrux wasn't just a victory, it was reclaiming lost humanity. Every act of destruction was an act of healing, not only for Harry and his friends, but for the wizarding world itself. With each Horcrux destroyed, the darkness receded and the possibility of redemption grew stronger. With every shattered piece, Voldemort became less, until nothing remained but a shell. The fragments of his soul, once hidden and protected, were now gone, leaving behind only emptiness and regret. His power faded and the world began to heal from his shadow. His quest for immortality led only to ruin. The legacy he left behind was not one of greatness, but of warning. A reminder that the pursuit of power at any cost brings only destruction. In the end, it was love, sacrifice, and courage that triumphed. The bonds between friends, the willingness to stand up for what is right, and the strength to forgive. These are the true sources of magic that endure long after darkness has faded. The story of the Horcruxes is a warning. Power without humanity destroys itself. It is a lesson for all who seek greatness. Without empathy and connection, even the most powerful will fall. If you could hide a Horcrux anywhere, where would it be? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, the greatest magic lies not in hiding from death, but in embracing life and the people we share it with.